Okay, welcome, ladies, to another coffee talk. Um, so as you all know, this is just a ladies meetup time that we meet and we talk and empower each other and uplift each other and we share so that others can learn from our story and be motivated and inspired. So I just have one thing to share today. And it's something I've learned over this week that, well, it's not the first time I've learned it, but it just kind of like reinforced. So I'm going to talk about ways to become successful. And the first thing you need to do to be successful is to look at your pattern. What is your normal pattern? How do you normally function? And once you recognize that pattern, you will know that you can change your behavior. You can change that pattern by changing your behavior, changing your habits. Um, and it's okay. It's okay, Debo, as long as you're still present. Yeah, you can change your habits. You can create new habits. You can create new pattern and be able to change your story. So for you to be successful, you need to change either. You can change your strategy, you can change your story, or you can change your state. So all of these are really good ways of becoming successful. Changing your strategy, meaning changing basically your pattern, right? Building new habits, and then changing your story is about the story you tell yourself. Change what you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself, I can't do this. Oh, this is too much. I can't do it. It's overwhelming. Makes me anxious. You can change that story. You can change the story you tell yourself. So you can, instead of saying, I can't do this, you can say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to break it up into pieces that I can work on, and I'm going to do this. And then the next thing is changing your state. Changing your state basically means changing your identity, changing who you are. So when you change your state, it's changing the part of you that is going to get to the next level. The personality that's going to take you to the next level. So they're different. We have different state or different personality in us. Different us. Like each one of us have a different person that lives in us. For example, we have a person that's a warrior, the person that's the one that when you say, I'm gonna stop this right now, that one come out and say stop right now, and you don't ever do it again. So that's your warrior personality. So think of something that may bring that personality out. Think of something you do that you stop right away. Like, for example, it can be like something you were addicted to your phone, or, some addictive behavior that you decide this is not serving me, and you stop it right away. That's your warrior. And when you think of being a warrior, what's the phrase that come in your mind? But what do you think of? You guys can share. You guys can say, when you hear the word I'm a warrior, what's the first thing that comes in your head? The first phrase that you think of.
It's a fighter, someone who is able to fight and defeat his or her fears.
A fighter. What else? We all think of different things when we get to that warrior stage.
So for me, warrior is like someone that doesn't give up. You just keep on fighting no matter what. If it's mental, emotional, physical, financial, you just don't give up on life. You don't give up on yourself, you know,
Yes.
like a modern day warrior.
Yes. And that's really great. So warrior is like the one that keep fighting, as Maro said. You keep fighting, you keep pushing, you have no limits. The warrior has no limits. The warrior phase is a no limit phase. It's like I am done with BS. I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. I'm gonna go get it. It's like working out. Like Marwa, for example, you had told me that you start working out, and now it's something you have never given up on. And that's your warrior phase. Your warrior phase is deciding, I need to do this. I'm going to do this and not stop. And you haven't stopped since you start working out.
Yeah, some days are better than others, but even
Yes,
if it's
but
just a little bit,
you
it's
still
just
keep
the
going. You still
consistency.
keep
Yeah.
going. And that's your warrior right there. That's your warrior.
Yeah. Something that.
So, and you know, a lot of, like, for me, for example, I love to eat sweet, and you know, it just like now I decided to stop it. I haven't gone back to eating sweet, and I can't find myself going for sugary food anymore. It just don't appeal to me. So it's just like that warrior phase saying, stop, this is not serving you. No more of it. So you can even apply that in your business. Like, get into your warrior phase to say, what is it you need to do? What is it I'm going to be doing? What is it I'm going to be pushing myself to do? The next personality we have is the perception personality, or the perception state that we go through. It's like knowing, your perception is basically telling you what you need to do. Like, if I do this, this is going to happen. If I keep going on this, this is what's going to happen. So that's your perception. It's like your intuition. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of like your intuition phase that you keep pushing with and keep going. The other phase you have that you go through and is your lover phase, is loving, you know, and that feelings phase. So you love what you do. You keep doing it because you love what you do. You find more joy in doing what you're doing. And then you have the wise phase, the phase that tell you if you're going in the right direction, if it's making sense or not. So changing, when you get into all of these different changes, all these different states of being, you can change your identity. And you can switch from one stage to the next because you have control of it. You can switch to being a warrior. Like, for example, you can feel bored. Like for me, I get into this phase, like during the week, I was having a really bad flare up of my lupus. And normally when I get that, I get so tired. I can't do anything. I'm like, I just feel like I have a weight on me. I can't move. And just thinking about getting stuff done is like using a lot of my energy, just thinking about what I need to do is using up my energy. So what I did is I'm like, I'm not going to make this be my identity. I'm not going to identify as this. I'm going to push myself and do something better. So I got up, I went on my vibration plate for a bit. And I felt better because, changing my energy, I changed stuff. And I start working, I start doing stuff, and then I feel it's coming back again. Go back on the vibration plate, just changing that energy, just knowing that I can change it, that I'm in control. I'm in control of this. I can change the way I feel. I can change that state that I'm in. So, a lot of times we get caught up because we think, oh, I'm so tired or I'm so bored, I don't have the motivation. But you don't need motivation to go. If you change your identity, you change who you are, you don't need motivation because it is who you are. You can change that in the blink of an eye. You can change that. I don't feel like doing this, so I'm going to get it done. So I don't know how many of you went through those phases and different things in life that you decide that I'm going to take control. I'm doing this. So you guys can unmute and share. I'm not the only one speaking. You guys can unmute.
Okay. Hi.
Go ahead, Lebo.
Um, I guess we have somehow experienced, those type of feelings in our lives. But I remember having to take charge of how I feel and what I say when I experience what I experience. Um, I remember feeling sick in March that led me to the ICU. And
Wow.
in a few months after that, in October, I started to feel that way. I was in California and I had two vacations that I planned already ahead of me. And when I got back from California to Minnesota, um, I called the clinic. When I told them my symptoms, they kept calling all day for me to go in. So I finally went in the evening, but I kept telling them, what, before going there, I started praying, Lord, if there's anything that um is hidden in my body that I don't know of, you created my body and you know what it is. And I want you to, reveal it. If there's nothing, the doctors will not find anything. So I prayed that prayer. I got to they actually asked me to go to the emergency room. When I got there, they told me my blood pressure, or yeah, blood pressure was not normal, and the range of this test that they did was, the normal range was between 40 to 60, but mine was at 1,000. And they said maybe I had a heart attack or whatever, and I just told them, you know what? I feel like there's nothing. I'm normal, and just hurry so I can go to my vacations after this. I don't want to stay here. I had that mindset, and also trusting God that He was in charge of my body, but I had to speak it out for them to know that I have my body. I was not speaking down on myself, but just trusting God and trusting what I was saying to make it true. And since then, it's nothing. Like they couldn't find anything. I stayed in the ER for 2 days. They asked me, you think what we should put on your discharge paper? I said, just leave it blank, my name, my address, my phone number, my birthday, and just give it to me. That's it. So I felt like I took charge of, my body. God was in charge, but I had to speak it out for it to work.
Yeah.
So those are, one of the, I mean, I've had many in my life, but this particular one, it's just happened like last year, and it's fresh in my mind that I can tell people that I took charge of my body, my thoughts, my way of moving, and how to live it.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Because you change the identity. You didn't like say define yourself by whatever was affecting you. So that's really powerful. Anyone else? Hannah, I know you have to go, but if you want to share anything before you go.
I actually wanted to say, honestly, wallahi, it's again, I'm blessed to be here today. I wasn't able to attend any of the prior ones, but what you shared today is so monumental, and it's like, it's like the cream of the crop information. So I guess my concern is how do we, once we decide to change our, say, identity, it's a matter of persistence, and being motivated enough to continue to do so. But I mean, there's a lot of food for thought in what you've shared, and I actually taking notes on my phone while you were speaking, so Jazakallah khair for doing so. Very powerful, truly.
Thank you. Yeah, we all have it in us to keep going and keep pushing, you know. And it's about choosing, you know, you have the choice to choose every day what you're going to do. Because I can say, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna go back to bed and not do, you know, not do what I'm supposed to do. But then when I get into my warrior state, I'm like, I'm unstoppable. I can do this. There is nothing that's going to stop me, you know. And that's exactly what Deba was sharing. Like, she know that whatever was happening, it's not going to keep her back. She has to live her life. She's going to keep going. So, you know, it's we have to keep getting into that state more often. I feel like we let the other state take us. And then like
No,
when you
what you said is perfectly true, that it's a choice. Kind of like I've heard that so many a times, but then, but that's exactly it's a choice. It's
yeah.
literally every day, every morning is a choice. And speaking of like healthy eating, which I'm not doing exactly at the moment, but like one person said, the next meal is your chance. Every meal is a choice, and every meal is a chance to go back to what you should be doing. So
Every meal is a blessing also.
that will lie truly, yeah, yeah, being able to eat,
Yes,
swallow,
every meal
chew,
is
all
a
of it.
blessing. Yes. You know, and there's this other thing that if you want to become the reason you change your identity is to embrace who you want to be. And a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm gonna do this when I'm this person. Or when I make more money, I'm gonna give in charity. When I make more money, I'm gonna go work out. When I make more money, I'm gonna eat healthy because I think that I'm gonna have a chef cooking for me. That's me. I would say, oh, when I make more money, I'm gonna have a chef cooking for me. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go. But then why not do it now? If you can't afford a chef like me, I just I start doing like looking up recipes, something I can make easy, something I can just incorporate in my meals to make it healthier. And then I start working out at home, 15 minutes. I haven't been able to do an hour. I haven't been able to do an hour workout as yet, like straight. I would do like 15 minutes in the morning, and every time I go to workout, my little guy is there. So this morning, to solve that problem, because even if I give him a game to play and I'm like, hey, play this game while I work out for half an hour. No, he put the game down and he's like, Mama, let's get it going. And Alhamdulillah, he just like, let's go, Mama, let's do it. Let's get, but he's always under me and I can't, like, I was doing kickboxing, I almost punch him, because he's like there in between of me all the time. So I did this morning, I was doing yoga. So I got another yoga mat and I spread one for him and I spread one for myself. And he was just working out by himself. He's like, Mama, look at me. Mama, I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, look at you. So amazing. I finally was able to do half an hour without him coming under me, or because he feel like he's part of it now. He get his own stuff and he can
Oh
do
my
it.
God, mashallah.
Yeah. So I'm like, that is the secret now. I have to get his setup and my setup. So yeah, so embracing who you are now and start doing the things that you want to be. That's the change of identity that I was referring to. Identify as that person. You want to be rich, identify as a rich person. What would you do when you get to that state? If you're thinking in the future, I want to be this person, or I want to be successful in this. What are you going to do when you're that person? What are you going to do when you're rich? What are you going to do when you achieve all that goals you set out? Who is going to be that person? What would your day look like? And you have to start behaving that way and because that's what you identify as. So you have to start building habits that way. So anyone else want to share, Felicia? Or Hajar?
Oh no, I was a little bit distracted, so I didn't. I was a little distracted, so I didn't really get the question, the
You were talking
point.
about changing like your state. When have you ever embrace your warrior state? Like your warrior state is like, I'm going to do this right now, and nothing else is going to stop me from getting there. So was there like ever a time in your life that you did that? You embraced that state and decided nothing is going to stop me from getting there.
Oh yes, I mean, I think everything from the onset starts with your mindset. Yeah, because we can all do it, but if you don't have that mindset of not quitting, of not stopping, you cannot succeed because we always have these people in us who always tell you, "Oh, I'm tired," or "Don't do it today." What I'm saying is, there was a time I wanted to go on a weight loss. Okay. I had been trying and stopping, I had started before and I didn't finish. So this particular time, I said I was going to take a 30-day weight loss challenge. Guess what? I was able to do it. I would do exercise today. The next day, I will climb on the scale and I'm like, what is going on? It's not working. So I had to put, more and more energy to that exercise, that workout until 30 days. I saw a great result and everybody were asking, did you do a surgery? I'm like, no, that was my mindset.
Yeah,
And it worked. It did.
yeah.
So I actually killed that person in me who used to tell me sometimes, oh, I'm tired. You can do it tomorrow, you can. I killed it.
Procrastinator, yeah. Yep,
Right.
yep. And we all get caught in that procrastination, like, oh, I feel tired today, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Or I got so much going on today, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I feel like I get that, but I have to get up and say, no, I'm doing it now. Even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes. And that's one of the things I started doing, like breaking my workout up into small bits, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just so that I can get through the day with working out. So you want to share, Marvel?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we all, have our ups and downs, right? That's just the normal of life. And I think what truly makes you a warrior or that person, that part of you is when you, like you said, you just like, no, I'm doing this no matter what. But that is a state of mind. That is a state of mind. And that's a state of mind that you're very, very, you can see that future you. Like you said, you really have to become that other person. It's an identity. So if you identify as someone who's always sick, always tired, you're always going to be sick and tired. If you identify as somebody who's just like genetically just, well, I'm just this way, all my family has arthritis or everyone I know has this or that, you're going to be that person. Because I think you can overcome anything and everything. That's just me. I don't like put boundaries on myself because you know what? You are limitless if you really, really, truly believe it. And I have to remind myself too, I'm not where I want to go, but life's a journey. And especially when it comes to weight loss, it's hard because sometimes your body's like, nope, nope, I'm not moving today. And you get into your cravings and then you have hormone imbalances and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me right now, I'm trying to get over that little bit of a hump. I have been working out consistently, but my workouts are not as good as they used to be because I'm feeling that tiredness. And I know where it's coming from. I know where it's coming from. For me, it's coming from stress. It's coming from this. It's coming from other things in my life. So again, identity. If I want to be that future millionaire, well, I better, like you said, if you think that you're already good and you already have that money in the bank and you already have those vacations planned and you're driving your dream car, believe me, you're going to get up and you're going to like be flying like a butterfly all day. You're going to be doing things so much more easier because you're going to be like, well, I'm already that person.
Yep.
You're You're going to do your workouts when you're happy. And that's why I find when I go to the gym and I leave everything at the door, my workout is way better
Yeah.
because I've shifted the identity of like, I'm good, life's good, I'm working out, I'm making myself better, healthier, and it feels so good. And it really does. So yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah. I feel it's a thought, it's what you tell yourself before you
Yes.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. It makes it easier when you embrace that person that you
Mhm.
want to be. Like
Yep.
telling myself I'm skinny and I'm healthy and
Healthy. You know what I focus to, ladies? What I really focus to, since we're on the nutrition, it's kind of like one of my passions, honestly, like health and fitness and all that. Um, Putting in your mind, I'm doing this for my health, it changes the game. If you only think I want to lose weight because I'm really smoking hot in that dress, or I want to lose weight because I want to be skinny, that is okay, but it has negative connotation because it's actually you're telling your subconscious, I don't love myself now. I'm not satisfied with what I have now. I don't like my body. And that's a negative thing, even if you're not thinking that way, but subconsciously you are. And that's
yeah.
why a lot of people, especially women, it's hard to lose weight. Think of I'm getting healthier. Because remember, when you say I need to lose, your subconscious is like, oh no, we can't lose. We got to keep everything. Remember, survivor. Your brain is meant to keep you alive. So you got to think, I want to get healthier. I want to be able to walk up the stairs and not be like out of breath. I want to be able to chase my kid down the street and not be like, like, oh my God, I'm going to collapse. When I put that kind of mindset in my head, I drop the weight much more. And Lilies, I've lost a lot of weight over the
Yeah.
past few years. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's
it's
very
because,
admirable, to do that and be able to keep it off.
yeah,
That's
I'm trying
really,
to keep more off. I know I'm not at my goal weight yet, but inshallah.
yeah, but
Definitely.
you've done a lot, like like that. It's just amazing. Like me just trying to lose 20 pounds and I'm struggling.
I know. A lot of people when they don't recognize me, they're like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful feeling.
that's mindset. That's changing your identity. That's an example of becoming a new person, changing
Yeah.
your identity completely.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what it all means, what it all
Yeah.
embodies. Yeah.
When
That's
people talk about like, I told you I'm gonna just share this. I had fibromyalgia, I had autoimmune issues. I was almost bedridden sometimes when I would get a flare up. I was in bed 2 days straight. I could not get up. I could not move my muscle. I could not, even my kids were little. If they just like, mommy, pat me on the shoulder, I'd be like, no, no. Go. I can't. I
yeah.
would barely be able to take care of them. It was really, really that. And when I shifted and I said, nope, I'm going to get healthy. This is pathetic. I was like, I am not going to be that, deadbeat mommy, can't do nothing for myself. This is not who I am. I literally told myself, like, this is not the real me. I'm going to get back to the real me, the person I know I can be. I can be that strong person, that I really, in my soul, I know I am. And I just kept telling myself that, and I actually hired a coach at that time. I hired like a health coach, and I thought of it, like I said, I'm getting healthier. That was my goal. I am healing my body. And with that, slowly I was able to start moving better, went to the gym, I got a trainer. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
You got to do the work. But the consistency of and I need to get that part of me back because I've been lax. I'm like you, I like sweets.
I think that's a very important thing, consistency.
Yeah.
I think that is really, really important.
I would say it's
Everything
the most
we do.
important.
In everything that we do, you have to be consistent.
Even during COVID and lockdown, I couldn't go to the gym. I was still in the middle of my journey at that point. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose everything that I worked so hard to get.
Yeah.
And I did workouts at home, and I'm not a home workout person. Like, that's not me. I like to be out and about. And I sucked it up and I was like, and I just put on videos, and even my trainer contacted him, and he was like, I said, we're allowed in the park, we can go outside. It wasn't like, and that's what I did. I would train in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that alone is changing your patterns,
Yeah.
You recognize there was something coming up that was gonna stop you, but you change it and still
Yep.
keep going. So that is something that's really amazing. Because a lot of people would just be like, oh, it's COVID, make excuses,
Yep.
and just fall back into it. So
Alhamdulillah. During COVID, I did not put on weight. I didn't lose that much, but I didn't put it on because I was like, at least I can do is, stop eating. Like I'm not gonna sit there and eat cookies all day, like, because the goal again.
it's okay, Hannah. She had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really, that's if you have that consistency in every area of your life, there's no way you wouldn't be successful in whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's something I struggle with, being consistent.
Yeah.
And every
We
day I
all do.
have to choose to do what I have to do. And this year I tell myself, this year my focus is on me. I'm focused on myself. This year it's all about me. Because, as women, we always put ourselves on the back burner. Everything else is goes in front of us. So husband, kids, everything else except us. So I decided this year I'm gonna choose me.
Yep.
That's why I stopped eating sweets. I don't crave it anymore. Since I stopped, I don't crave it anymore. And if I do feel like I want something sweet, I would eat a date.
Oh my goodness, that's what I do.
Yeah, I would eat a date. I'm like, oh, and then I would feel satisfied, just because I have a sweet tooth, I would eat a date.
Yeah.
But I don't really eat sweet. Like I have cookies with chocolate filling, like my favorite type of cookies on the table. I haven't even touched one.
Oh, good for you.
I haven't even touched it. Like I normally would have tea with these sweet biscuits, and eat it. Haven't done that in a while. And I don't feel the need for it. And I think it's because, mindset. I've changed my mind. I'm like, I'm focused on myself. This is not serving me. I'm not gonna eat it. So I don't really go for sweet. And then even after I eat something sweet, it affects me and I know how it affects me. The same thing
Yeah.
with, me having a flare up this week. I know I wasn't eating very good, and that's why I got a flare up. And, like, Alhamdulillah, I notice I normally have high blood pressure, and I'm always like having to check my blood pressure all the time. So the batteries was done, and I got batteries out of the kids' game to put in my blood pressure thing to check my blood pressure. And it said it was low. And I'm like, these batteries is probably not working. This thing it can't be normal. This is not normal that my blood pressure is low. And I went to the store yesterday. I bought new batteries. I put it in the thing and I checked my blood pressure and it's low. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, what just happened? I normally, every time I feel like I'm having a headache or I'm stressed out, my blood pressure is high.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what just happened? Like, and I feel it's because of not eating sweet, of changing certain things, You kind of like
It
shed,
was normal.
the stress of this, of whatever, you suffer with. So
Yeah.
it's just my way of relating it to maybe because I'm not eating sweet, maybe because I'm working out more, maybe because I go in the vibration plate more often.
You know
So
what?
that's what's
Yeah.
helping me,
Yeah. It's all connected.
yeah. So, and I keep talking about this vibration plate that I bought, but I haven't been bloated. I haven't like been gaining weight or anything like that since I got it. Like I've been I feel more stronger, if I should say that. Like I don't know, like I'm not bloated, I'm not feeling as overweight as I normally would feel.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it helps a lot.
Because it's draining your lymph nodes, maybe. It's helping with
Yeah,
something.
it's draining my lymph node, and I feel one of the most important thing it does is changing your energy.
Yes.
It changes your energy. And it's the same thing with like working out. It changes your energy.
Yeah.
It helps you to release like all that negative energy or that keeps you stuck, you know? It helps you to release that. So
Yep.
even like they said what do you call it? Those little mini trampoline thing,
Oh
those
yeah.
pounder, yeah. It helps to like change your vibration and
Yep.
change your energy and put you in a more of a positive energy state or a more better vibration, I would say.
Yes, it
That
does.
makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Literally, your cells change. People don't
Yeah.
realize. Yep.
So like I really like the way I feel since I've gotten it. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
going on it more often. But
It's
you
so
know,
cool. I need me one.
we as women, we always find all the faults with ourselves, you know?
Yes. Yes.
We find all the faults with ourselves. Like this is not, you know, I have wrinkles now. I have, you
Oh, don't get me started.
know, we just find all the faults. And like you might meet someone and they were like, what are you talking about? I don't even see that.
I know.
But we're like an inch away from the mirror looking at everything. Do you think someone else is going to be an inch away from our face looking at faults?
True. True. And
Nobody's.
we're always comparing ourselves to our, 18-year-old self, which is another pathetic thing.
Well, I feel like all my life I always struggle with not feeling like I'm perfect.
I
I've
think
always
all
struggled with
women
that.
have that.
Even when I was
Yeah.
younger, I was so skinny and everything. I used
Yeah.
to still not feel like I was, you know, perfect. Like I used to always feel like I'm less than.
Hmm.
I used to
A lot
always
of them
struggle
too.
with that self-worth, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Alhamdulillah, I did a lot of work on myself to embrace that. And now I feel I'm more confident. I now know I'm worthy. I'm still working on myself to get there, but I now feel like I'm worthy. I feel worthy. I feel confident now. So I think we all struggle at some point or the other with that.
Yeah.
But it's about working on yourself, working and accepting yourself for who you are, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really hit me was there's this verse in the Quran that Allah said, I shape you, it goes to, I shape you the way I please.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that verse, like it really hit me to know that if God shaped me the way he please, who am I to find fault?
SubhanAllah. That is so true.
How can I find fault with, oh, my nose is too big. I've always had like, people always tell me, oh, you have a big nose. Growing up, I've always been told by relatives, everybody, oh, you have a big nose. And now I'm like, I have this nose because Allah choose it for me.
Yeah.
How can I find fault with that?
That's
How
so
can
true.
I find fault with the color of my eyes or the color of my skin?
That is so true.
He fashioned me the way he is pleased. And if he is pleased with me, then I don't care who is not pleased. Then I have to embrace that and be pleased with myself.
Yeah. This is a big problem, by the way, in the Muslim Ummah today. Everyone and their mama is getting plastic surgery. It's like pathetic. I mean, yeah. Yeah. When I sit with like, when I get invited to these little get-togethers, other women, and everyone is so shallow. Everyone's just talking about that stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, that's like really detrimental. Like, why are you not looking at the core of the problem? The problem is not your nose. The problem is not this, the problem is not that. Like, or like the fillers that people are doing, always wanting to make this bigger and this smaller and this all this stuff that people do to themselves. Like, why are you just not pleased with what Allah made you? And then they get this stuff done and they don't look any better.
Yeah.
I'm like, your original nose was much nicer. You looked unique. It was you.
Yeah, because you're fashioned a certain way
Yeah.
because of what will suit you.
Yeah. It's like exactly. And then people change themselves and they just look ridiculous. They don't look right.
Yeah, but they change themselves to feel acceptable. And that's a lot of,
Yeah,
that's a whole self-worth issue of
it is. That's something. It's
we
deeper.
struggle
Yeah.
with as women, because the media is telling us we have to look a certain way.
Oh my God, yes.
And we just go and dissect ourselves to match what they're telling us we have to look like.
Yeah,
Like, that's not what beauty is.
right.
And I think a lot of us as women, we forget that our beauty it's more than just physical.
Exactly.
It's more than just physical. Like we're such amazing beings that were created. Like we're just so amazing. Just think of it. We give life.
It's kind of,
We grow life in our bodies.
I know.
It's amazing. And we are the ones that shape our kids. We're the ones that shape society.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing of itself. That's a superpower.
Yeah. And it's a responsibility.
It is, yeah. And that's what a lot of people miss. They miss the point of, oh, I have to look this way. If someone doesn't like you the way you look, then they're not for you.
Exactly. That's not your person.
That's not, who are
Yeah.
you changing it? Like if your husband said, oh, I want you to have a different color hair because I don't like that hair that you have,
Mm-hmm.
then he's not for you. He didn't, if he said, oh, you need to change your nose because I like women with a certain type of nose, or I like women with a certain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you need to increase your breast size because I have bigger breasts.
Yeah.
It's not for you. That's not for you.
Right.
That's not your person. Right away, that's a red flag.
Yeah. That means they don't love you for you.
Exactly.
Because,
So
even if you go and find that woman with the whatever, well, she's not gonna look like that forever.
Yep.
People change physically. And I'm getting to a point, especially at my age now. I'm like, I have to just realize that aging is gonna happen. You're gonna not be the same person you were 10 years ago. It's just that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I have to accept it and I have to be okay with it. I'm not gonna go crazy every time I get a gray hair.
And you have to embrace it because
Yeah.
I really love and I'm really grateful that with age you're more wise, I would say. Like the experiences I have now that I can look back. Like I wish I can go back and teach my younger self all these things that I know.
I know.
But alhamdulillah, I'm able to impart on my daughter so she don't make the same mistakes I did, or she's smarter, she makes better choices, and she can be better guided. So
This generation is scary, man.
oh my God. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about it. I feel like they grow up too fast.
Way too fast. My niece is 10. She just turned 10. And when they were here a few months back, she's over here like, I don't want to wear that. I look fat. And I'm like, oh my God, she's underweight. But you see the body dysmorphia?
Yeah.
She's actually medically underweight. Like she's not even normal for her age. Okay.
Yeah.
She barely eats. And she's like, I look fat. Oh my God, people are gonna make fun of me. And I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. The body dysmorphia is so, it's sad.
It's crazy the things you're exposed to, like
Yes.
all these things about weight and what you need to look like. What is an ideal woman should look like. It's just
Yep.
crazy.
There is no ideal. We're all beautiful in our own way. That's
Yeah.
why Allah made us. This is the miracle of Allah, that we all look different. We speak different languages. It's more fun that way. Imagine if
how
everyone was
boring
the
it would
same.
be if we all look the same way.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be so boring. Variety. It's the spice of life.
My daughter I was like looking in the mirror, I'm like, I need to lose some weight. And she's like, why? You look good the way you are. I'm like,
Aw,
that's
that's so
power.
sweet.
I'm like, no, I just need to tone my tummy down, I just need to work on my tummy. And
We
she's
all
like,
have that
oh,
tummy.
okay.
It's a hormone
But
thing. I really
yeah,
think
it's
so,
like
man.
I look at her, I'm like, this child she's so mature for her age.
Yeah.
Like, wow. She's like, no, you look good the way you are, because I
Aw.
try to always tell her, like, look at yourself. Always know that you're beautiful, you're worthy, So I think she always tried to turn it around on me. So
That's nice. You're
And
doing a good job then
funny
as a
thing
mom.
happened, like they had a school dance, and I'm always on her case that you need to wear dresses, stop being a tomboy. They had school dance yesterday, and she asked me, "Can I go to the dance?" I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Yeah, me and my friends, we made plans. We all want to go." So I'm like, "Okay." And she actually took a dress to wear, which I was so shocked. I was like, "What?" Yeah, she wore a dress, a sweater dress with the leggings and boots, and I'm like, "Wow,
Cute.
wow!" Like my little kid is all grown up.
I know. That's good though. That's good. You know what? Tomboys are the best
Yeah,
because they're learning the survival skills and they're learning how to be go-getters and they have that warrior in them. At the same time, they're girls too, you know?
yeah.
And it's gonna just shape for a well-rounded person in the future. I was a tomboy. I was not a girly girl.
Like
Mm-mm.
me, I was not girly.
No.
I was
I
not.
wanted
I
to
still
play.
struggle to put makeup on, like at my age.
See, I love makeup, but yeah, it's annoying because I don't like how it feels all the time on your face, especially eye makeup. I think I'm allergic to it. But when I was younger, it wasn't like I wanted to wear dresses all the time. No, I didn't. I wanted to play. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to do stuff. I was more like physically active.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, identity, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this one quote from this girl. She was sponsored by Nike. She's one of the hijabi girls sponsored by Nike. She's Egyptian. And they had a like a call with her, like motivational call. And she was like, and they said, what would you tell other Muslim women? What would you tell women in general? And she was like, I'm gonna just tell you what Nike tells everyone. If you have a body, you're an athlete. That's it. If you have a body, you're supposed to move it. And even Islamically, if you look at our deen, that is exactly what the deen says.
Yeah.
You're not encouraged to be lazy or to be overweight. No, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he actually encouraged swimming, archery, horseback riding. He used to race with his wife in the desert. They used to go out running. I mean, they did wrestling is like a sunnah sport. SubhanAllah. So it's like, and there's even a hadith, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to translate it. It meaning the sound mind is in the sound body.
Yeah.
So you cannot be, and look at how we're correlating everything to our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions. And when you have negative emotions, it translates in your muscles, and that's how you get sick. And wow.
Yeah.
So we are supposed to be that person. We are natural born athletes. We have joints and muscles to move for a reason.
Yeah. And that's true. And that's one of the way, you shift your energy and shift your focus too. Like if you're feeling down or whatever, and you just jump up and do some jumping jacks.
Oh my God, yeah, I do
You
that.
shift that energy. You shift it completely. Like you get more, and it's something that I do now. Like if I'm doing something and I'm thinking I don't see the way, like it's not coming to me how to get this thing done. I do squats or I do jumping jacks or I do something for a couple of minutes and it just like shift my energy and I feel more, my head clears up, because
Yeah.
one of the things with having lupus is brain fog. Like you feel like your brain is foggy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fibro's the same way, girl. It's bad.
yeah, and I started doing like jumping jacks or Idris will come and say, Mama, let's dance. And I would just like, dance with him, move with him, jump up and down, whatever. And it just changes me, changes the brain fog and all of that. So it does
Yeah.
help. It does help. It changes your energy. But this is the first time I've had a flare up that, I didn't just like stay in bed for a whole week, just like letting it overpower me. I just get up and move. Like all week I was having it like back and forth, and just like dealing with it by moving and doing stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that I can finally see that there are ways I can deal with it. Like before, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just so exhausted, So
It is exhausting. I mean, may Allah give you shifa. It is an exhausting thing to deal with. Yeah. Any autoimmune, it's bad.
Yeah, and any kind of stress, anything just triggers it, and it's
Yes.
really hard. People don't know the struggles you go through when you have an autoimmune condition.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the physical, it's the mental state.
Mental,
And
emotional. Yeah.
yeah, you just feel like a ton of brakes on your body and you just can't move.
Oh my God. I know. I remember that.
Yeah. So
I still get minor flare-ups here and there, but alhamdulillah, compared to me from 12 years ago, oh no, alhamdulillah, I'm a different person. But
yeah.
I'll tell you, it's a mindset. And you know what? I'll tell you actually, and I'll share this with you guys. When I was put on really bad medication, I was put on almost chemotherapy, like stuff. And I got even sicker. My immunity went down and my hair started falling out on a very tiny itty bitty dose. It was
Oh,
really bad. Yeah. And I told my doctor, I said, I am not taking this garbage anymore. Oh, but you need it. Blah, 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 blah. How are your symptoms for the fibromyalgia? I'm like, I'd rather do that than lose my hair and get sick every single month. I'm running, taking antibiotics.
yeah.
So I weaned myself off of that garbage. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And then it just like hit me. It just like hit me like Allah, just like boom, wake up. And my situation was not good. My kids are really young. I was very, very in a bad situation. And I said to myself, I'm not taking this garbage anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any of this anymore. I said, I refuse to be labeled as having this disease. I said, that's not me. Talk about identity shift. I was just like, I will overcome this. You know what? Mind over matter. Yeah, that's what I'm going to believe in from now on. And I said, mind over matter. I do not have this illness. Nope. Nope. It's not me. I refute it.
Yeah.
And then
And
I started working on myself, and that was it.
that's another thing. Like since I was diagnosed, I never used to tell people that I have lupus
Good. Don't identify with it.
because I'm like, I didn't want to accept it. I don't want it to be a part of me.
Exactly.
But I have the flare-ups, I deal with it, but I know it's not as bad as what some people go through.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna make it define me. It's not who I am. So I'm gonna work on myself. So it's not gonna keep me back. That's why like this whole week I'm like going on a vibration plate, just moving, just doing different things, so I don't get sucked into that feeling. So yeah.
And that's exactly where you should start.
Yeah.
Do not identify with it. Inshallah, you'll get over it.
Yeah. And I feel, like diet and exercise has a lot to do with it too, eating to be healthy, as you said, just
Mhm.
eat for your health. And I feel like that has like a lot to do with it. Just eat to be healthy. So I think, maybe if I was consuming a lot of sugars before, I probably would not have been able to push myself, So I think that has some things to do with it too. But focus on on the rest of stuff. I'm like, I need to go on a no carbs diet.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's the
need to go on a
best.
no carbs diet. So
I know.
I gotta
It's
find
hard.
things to substitute. So yeah.
It is not easy. It is definitely a struggle.
Yeah. Okay, ladies. Anybody else want to share anything? I guess not.
No, not really. I
Okay.
think I need to start working out too to
Yeah.
feel good.
I started doing like yoga. I started doing like this morning I did half an hour and I did a lot of stretches and it just feels so good to just stretch,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I tell myself I started it and then I stopped. I tell myself every morning I'm gonna do yoga for half an hour before I come out of my bedroom. That way I get that stretching before I start my day. So I gotta go back to doing it. And then like maybe do my workout later in the day. Because I struggle, I don't struggle. It's excuses. So I go to do weights and I'm like, I'm so hungry. I don't have the energy. I'm gonna go eat.
Yeah.
I need some coffee to push myself. So I'm gonna go eat. And then I eat, and then I'm like, I gotta wait an hour to go work out. Then I wait an hour and I'm like,
That's me on the
"Oh,
weekends.
now I have something else coming up. Or now I'm like, I get busy. And I'm like, this it's just excuses, you know?
Yeah.
It's just excuses but then I'm like, I go on the vibration plate and then I go grab a weight and do something for a little bit, you know. But I'm working on getting there. I'm working on getting consistent and pushing myself. And I think that's it. I gotta embrace my warrior state more. Just embrace it and just be like, I can do this, I'm gonna do this, and no excuses.
And you know what? Remember, the biggest jihad is jihad the nafs,
Yep.
jihad of your own self.
Yep.
Yep.
In
Prophet
yourself.
Muhammad
Yep.
said that. Yep. And that's I think the bottom line. Fighting against your own self and trying to be a better person and not get sucked into your temptations, desires, whatever it may be, if it's eating the wrong food or wasting time or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so much.
My coffee machine broke this morning, and I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
I don't have coffee. I got a little bit irritated because I'm like, it worked fine yesterday, and then I was really looking forward to a cup of coffee, and then it just stopped working, and I'm like, I'm grateful that it did stop working, so I can have green tea instead. You know, I'm like, this is so much better for my body. So maybe this is why it stopped working, because I need to have something that's more beneficial to me. So I changed that thinking right away, you know, that getting mad at it, that disappointed. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get into that mood. Nope. Get rid of that negative feelings.
Good. I
So
love my coffee too.
yeah, I feel like sometimes I feel like I can't function without it, but I tell myself I'm gonna go on the road. I'm gonna go on the road and I'm gonna just buy myself a coffee. So
There you go. And you know what? That might lead to something even better.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's over an hour, so we'll call it a day. I'll
Thank
see
you.
you
This
guys
was
next
a
week.
good discussion. Jazakallah khair for letting me talk.
No, we keep
I feel like I talk too much.
we started with one thing and we just, you know, as ladies do, we just keep diverting to all different topics. So
Yeah.
we just keep going all over the place. But
Yep.
it was a good discussion today. So
Yes, thank you.
thank you everyone for taking time out this morning so we can chat and spend time together. So enjoy your weekend, ladies. I'll see you guys next week.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Thank you too. Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Assalamu alaikum.
You too.
Thank you.